What's happening, folks, and welcome to the Corner Kick Breakdown. My name is DirtyMike, and this year on Twitter it's been a trending topic. It's been all over YouTube. Folks are conceding goals left and right from corner kicks, and I've added a couple different techniques that I think have really helped myself with defending corners, and I want to share them with you guys. But before I get into that, let's talk about corner kick trouble and why are so many people conceding goals in FIFA 13 from corner kicks. Number one, mistiming headers. It sounds very simple, but you get a little bit anxious and you jump the gun and you push the clearance button and it just doesn't work for you. If you mistime a header, your opponent will score goals. Number two is forgetting to jostle. Jostling for position is so important in FIFA, and it's half the job. It's a 50-50 prior to the ball ever reaching your player. So if you have better position than your opponent, it makes a big difference. And last but not least is poor keeper positioning. So if you pull your goalie out of the box or way out of position, there leaves a huge gap in behind him for your opponent to find corners or just find opportunities that they should never have. So you got to be very careful when you're moving the keeper around on corner kicks. First up, we have the technique known as easy addition. So you're going to take the near post man and you're going to run him directly inside the box. And what this does is you're able to add another man into the mix, which is always a good look when defending corner kicks because there is a random factor when defending corners. Sometimes the ball bounces around, and it's always better if you have an extra player inside the box. And as you can see from these clips, that man that I actually bring into the box gets on the end of these crosses and stops the entire corner kick on his own. Bringing out the keeper. Location, location, location. We're talking about real estate. Where can your keeper go and where shouldn't he go? So in the first little chart, little graph we got here, we got the safe zones. The first thing you're going to notice is the keeper does not travel very far. He stays in that penalty box. Sometimes he can go just outside the penalty box in order to make clearances and the risky areas, things that you need to pay attention to. The big time risky areas, in my opinion, that I see a lot of people making mistakes, as well as myself. I'm not perfect. This has taken me quite a while to figure out this chart and how to make this a systematic approach, is if you go too far near post or too far post with your goalkeeper, you bring him out, it creates an angle that your opponent normally wouldn't have, and you always get punished. It really is not a satisfying feeling when you concede goals, when you know you made the mistake to concede that goal, that your opponent would never have had the opportunity to score from those angles, but you pulled the keeper out of position and boom, an angle was created for your opponent. And I'm just showing you guys a bunch of examples here of when you should pull your keeper. In what areas does your keeper need to make a play on the ball? Ideally, you don't want to touch him at all, but sometimes it has to happen. You got to have your goalkeeper on point, ready to protect your house, and if you're lucky, sometimes you can start a counterattack. Staying home and not getting fooled by corner kicks. This can be one of the more difficult situations when you're defending corners in FIFA 13 because so many players are able to whip in the ball with a lot of pace, a lot of speed, a lot of spin, and it's easy to misjudge whether or not the ball is going to land in a safe area for your keeper or a risky spot. And when you're left guessing, oh boy, good things can happen and bad things can happen. And something that I want to note is if you have some of the bigger goalkeepers that have a lot of experience, such as Buffon or Peter Cech, both those guys can cover a little bit more area when you're defending corners, but don't get too crazy with it. They will still get punished and still make mistakes like any goalkeeper in the game. They're not going to go God mode for you. Don't count on that happening. Last up, we have counterattacking from a corner kick. So this is definitely not a defensive tactic. And what you're going to do is use the near post man from earlier that we're bringing into the box to add another guy into the mix. Well, now he's leaking out, and we're going to try to use him as an outlet pass to start counterattacks. And what you're hoping for, ideally, is that the goalkeeper can either catch the corner kick, maybe he pushes it out wide, or you get a really strong header, and boom, the counterattack has begun. And the reason that I like using this tactic is some people have very predictable corners and they go to the exact same corner kick over and over again. And this is a great way to capitalize on your opponent being predictable. As we get a beautiful over-the-top through ball to Di Maria, and boom, I literally scored that goal. It feels like it was a 4-second goal. Just turn around from one end to the other, And that's incredible. It's a game changer, and I love being able to basically take advantage of your opponent showing you his cards. He showed you his hand, and it wasn't a good hand. You had it read like a book, and goals will be scored. So this is my first tutorial in this sort of setup, so let me know if you enjoyed that. If you did, drop a like, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and follow me on Twitter at MikeSo9USA. I'll have a lot more content come for you ASAP.